Quiet habits often create the biggest changes, and intermittent fasting is one of them. Many beginners feel stuck between diet advice that sounds extreme and fitness plans that feel impossible to follow. Confusion grows fast. One expert says eat 6 times a day, another says stop eating for hours. The result is frustration, hunger, and quitting before real results show up. This video is made to cut through that noise and slow everything down. If you are new to intermittent fasting, this is where clarity begins. In the next few minutes, you will learn what intermittent fasting truly is, how it works inside the body, and why millions of people use it without turning their lives upside down. No hype, no promises of overnight transformation, just clear facts explained in simple words. Many people think intermittent fasting is about starving, but that idea misses the truth. Fasting is not about punishment. It is about timing. It is about giving the body space to reset in a way modern eating habits rarely allow. There is a lesser known reason this approach feels easier than most diets, and it has nothing to do with willpower. It has to do with how the body naturally switches fuel sources when food is not always available. Most beginners do not know this, and that lack of understanding is why they fail early. In this video, you will learn why hunger during fasting is not random, why it often fades faster than expected, and why energy levels can rise instead of drop. You will also learn why starting too hard is the biggest mistake and how small changes create long-term success. Another thing few people talk about is how intermittent fasting can simplify life instead of complicating it. Less planning, fewer meals, more structure. That simplicity is powerful, especially for beginners who feel overwhelmed by food rules. By the end of this video, you will understand the most beginner-friendly fasting methods, what is safe to drink while fasting, and what to eat when the fast ends so the body responds well instead of fighting back. You will also hear about common myths that scare people away for no real reason and quiet truths backed by research that rarely make headlines. This matters because starting with the wrong idea can lead to poor results or unnecessary stress. Staying until the end will help you avoid those traps and give you a clear starting path that feels realistic, not extreme. Intermittent fasting is not magic, but it is powerful when understood correctly, and that understanding is what most videos skip. This channel exists to explain ideas simply, honestly, and without pressure. If learning how your body works, saving time, and building habits that last matter to you, then you are in the right place. Stay with us through this guide because the final takeaways can change how you think about food forever. Welcome to our channel, and if you value clear explanations that respect your time, subscribe now and join us for more content like this. Intermittent fasting is a way of eating that focuses on time instead of food choices. It does not tell you what foods are good or bad. It does not give you a long list of rules. It simply creates a window for eating and a window for resting from food. During the eating window, you eat your meals. During the fasting window, you do not eat. That is the core idea. This is why many beginners find it easier than traditional diets. Diets usually control every bite. Intermittent fasting controls the clock. The food itself can stay familiar, especially at the start. For beginners, this matters because changing everything at once often leads to failure. Intermittent fasting allows change to happen gradually. It works with daily routines instead of fighting them. Eating still happens every day. Meals still feel normal. The only difference is timing. Many people already fast without realizing it. Sleeping is a form of fasting. Intermittent fasting simply extends that natural break from food. This is why it feels less extreme than it sounds. The body is already designed to handle periods without eating. Long before modern schedules, humans ate when food was available and rested when it was not. Constant eating is a recent habit. Intermittent fasting brings back a pattern the body understands well. People are drawn to intermittent fasting for many reasons, and weight loss is often the first one. When eating hours are limited, overall calorie intake often drops naturally. There is less snacking. There are fewer late night meals. This happens without strict counting or measuring. For many people, this feels freeing. Instead of thinking about food all day, they eat during set hours and move on. Another reason people try intermittent fasting is better control over eating habits. Cravings often come from routine rather than true hunger. Eating at certain times trains the body to expect food constantly. Intermittent fasting helps break that cycle. Over time, hunger becomes more predictable. It comes in waves instead of staying all day. This helps people feel more in control. Improved energy and focus are also common reasons. Many beginners expect low energy, but often the opposite happens. When the body is not busy digesting food all the time, mental clarity can improve. Energy becomes more stable instead of rising and crashing. Another quiet benefit is simplicity. Fewer meals mean less planning, less cooking, less cleaning. Life feels lighter. For people with busy schedules, this simplicity is a major reason they stay consistent. Understanding how intermittent fasting works helps remove fear. When you stop eating for several hours, the body first uses the food already in the system. Blood sugar stays stable for a while. Insulin, the hormone that helps store energy, begins to drop. This drop is important. High insulin tells the body to store fat. Lower insulin allows the body to access stored energy. After several hours without food, the body starts using fat as fuel. This is not sudden or dramatic. It is a gradual shift. The body is smart. It always looks for balance. Fat burning during fasting is simply the body using what it already has. This process does not require intense effort. It requires time. Hunger during fasting often comes from habit, not danger. The body sends signals based on routine. When meal times change, those signals adjust. This is why hunger often fades after the first weeks. Intermittent fasting methods vary, but all follow the same idea. The 16-8 method is one of the most popular. It means fasting for 16 hours and eating during an 8-hour window. Many people eat between late morning and evening. This method fits well with work schedules. For beginners, it may feel challenging at first, but it becomes natural over time. The 14-10 method is more gentle. Fasting lasts 14 hours and eating happens within 10 hours. This is often recommended for beginners who want results without pressure. It allows breakfast to stay early and dinner to stay comfortable. The 12-12 method is the easiest. Fasting lasts 12 hours and eating happens within 12 hours. This method is very beginner-friendly. It often only requires stopping late-night eating. For many people, this alone brings noticeable changes. Choosing the right method matters. Starting too hard can lead to burnout. Starting easy builds confidence. Drinks during fasting are simple but important. Water is always allowed and encouraged. Staying hydrated reduces hunger and supports energy. Black coffee is allowed because it has no calories. It can even help with focus. Plain tea is also allowed. Green tea and herbal tea work well. Sweeteners and milk should be avoided because they break the fast. Sugary drinks are not allowed. Juice is not allowed. Even small calories can interrupt the fasting process. Clarity here prevents confusion. Fasting is not about suffering. It is about structure. When understood clearly, intermittent fasting becomes a calm routine rather than a struggle. When the fasting period ends, the first meal matters more than many beginners realize. This moment sets the tone for how the body responds, how energy feels, and how easy it is to continue the routine. Breaking a fast does not mean eating everything in sight. It means choosing food that supports the body after hours of rest. Real food works best here. Foods that look close to how they came from nature are easier for the body to handle. Protein plays a key role at this stage. It helps control hunger, supports muscles, and creates a feeling of fullness that lasts. Eggs, fish, chicken, yogurt, beans, or lentils are simple examples. Fiber is equally important. It slows digestion and keeps blood sugar steady. Vegetables, fruits, and whole grains provide this support. Healthy fats also belong here. They help with satisfaction and balance. Foods like nuts, seeds, olive oil, or avocado are common choices. The goal is not perfection. The goal is balance. One of the biggest challenges after fasting is avoiding binge eating. This often happens when people break their fast with sugar or processed food. These foods cause rapid spikes and crashes that increase hunger instead of calming it. Eating slowly helps. Paying attention to fullness signals helps. A calm first meal leads to a calm rest of the day. Simple combinations work well. A plate with protein, vegetables, and some healthy fat is enough. A bowl with yogurt, fruit, and nuts is enough. There is no need for complex rules or strict plans. Simplicity supports consistency, especially for beginners. Many people worry that intermittent fasting lacks real benefits beyond weight loss, but research tells a broader story. Studies show that limiting eating hours can support weight management by reducing overall calorie intake without forcing constant control. Metabolic health is another area where benefits appear. The body becomes better at switching between fuel sources. This flexibility supports long-term health. Insulin sensitivity often improves as well. When insulin levels stay lower for longer periods, the body responds more efficiently to food. This can reduce the risk of metabolic issues over time. Mental clarity is another benefit reported by many people and supported by research. Stable energy levels support focus. Fewer blood sugar swings mean fewer crashes. This is why many people feel sharper during fasting hours. These effects do not appear overnight. They develop gradually with consistency. Beginners often make mistakes that slow progress or cause frustration. One common mistake is starting too aggressively. Jumping into long fasts without preparation can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and quitting early. The body needs time to adapt. Another mistake is eating junk food during eating windows. Fasting does not cancel out poor food choices. Quality still matters. Not drinking enough water is another issue. Dehydration often feels like hunger. Water supports energy, digestion, and focus. Sleep is often ignored, yet it plays a major role. Poor sleep increases hunger and reduces self-control. Without proper rest, fasting feels harder than it needs to be. Intermittent fasting is not for everyone. Safety always comes first. People with certain medical conditions should avoid fasting unless guided by a professional. Pregnancy requires consistent nutrition and should not include fasting. A history of eating disorders is another important factor. Fasting can trigger unhealthy patterns in some individuals. Listening to the body is essential. There is no benefit in pushing through warning signs. Starting safely makes all the difference. Beginners should begin with shorter fasting windows. 12 hours is often enough to see changes. Choosing an easy window builds confidence. Tours people is hit into that evil is easier. Adjusting slowly allows the body to adapt. Hunger signals change over time. Energy levels shift. Paying attention to these signals helps guide the process. Consistency matters more than perfection. Missing a day does not erase progress. Returning to routine matters more than strict control. Intermittent fasting works best as a lifestyle tool, not a punishment. When approached with patience and awareness, it becomes sustainable and calm rather than stressful. Intermittent fasting is not a miracle, and it was never meant to be. It is simply a tool, and like any tool, its power depends on how it is used. When approached with patience, it can support better habits, clearer thinking, and a healthier relationship with food. There is no need to rush. There is no need to chase perfection. Small steps taken consistently often lead to the strongest results. Progress may feel slow at first, but the body is always adapting quietly in the background. Trust that process. Allow yourself time to learn what works for you. Intermittent fasting should fit into your life, not take control of it. If this guide helped you see fasting in a calmer and more realistic way, then it has done its job. If you found value here, support the channel by liking this video so more people can discover it. Share it with someone who might be confused or curious about intermittent fasting. And if you want more clear, honest content that respects your time, subscribe to the channel and stay with us for future videos.